Are you feeling overwhelmed and scattered by the sheer number of commitments on your plate? Do you often feel like there's simply not enough time in the day to accommodate all of them? If this sounds familiar, it might be time for you to recognize that it's okay, even beneficial, to say no. Limiting our commitments can help us achieve balance, improve our overall well-being, and create breathing room for essential goals. When you overcommit yourself to multiple tasks, it can have serious consequences that can affect your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health. This is because when you take on too much, your body and mind become overwhelmed and cannot cope with the excessive strain of juggling multiple responsibilities. As a result, you may experience burnout. Burnout is a state of mental, physical, emotional, or spiritual exhaustion caused by prolonged stress. It can lead to a decrease in work performance and an increase in stress levels, as well as cause physical symptoms such as fatigue, headache, muscle pain, and insomnia. In addition to burnout, overcommitting yourself can also contribute to feelings of anxiety and depression due to the constant pressure of trying to keep up with all your tasks and commitments. It's easy for feelings of guilt or fear of failure to build up when trying to juggle many things at once, leading to further mental health issues. This kind of stress can also physically impact us, such as weakened immune systems, digestive issues, or cardiovascular problems. Do any of these sound familiar? Perhaps just discussing these here makes you feel a heaviness on your shoulders or chest. It is essential to be aware of the potential dangers of overcommitment and learn how to manage your workload better. The key is learning how to say no when necessary. It might be uncomfortable at first, but ultimately it will save you from further stress down the line when trying to handle more than you can realistically manage. Taking on only what you can do will help keep your workload manageable while allowing time for rest and relaxation, so your mind, body, and spirit do not become overwhelmed. When it comes to managing your commitments, it can be easy to take on too much without realizing the potential consequences. To prevent this type of burnout, it is vital for all of us to assess our commitments regularly and make sure that we are not taking on more than we can handle. One way to do this is by listing all your commitments and evaluating how each contributes to your goals. Think about the goals you want to accomplish in the short term and the long term, and consider whether or not your current commitments are helping you to reach these goals. If they are not, you might want to reevaluate your workload with mindful intention and see if there are any areas where you can realistically reduce some commitments. It is also important to remember that prioritizing our own well-being should always be on the top of the list when assessing our commitments. This means considering how much time we have available for each commitment and whether or not our resources, time, energy, finances, interests, will allow us to keep up with all of them. Remember that it's okay to say no sometimes if something just isn't manageable. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Finally, it's essential to make sure that you have some me time as part of your regular routine to recharge and take care of yourself mentally and physically. That could mean setting aside time for exercise, reading a book, or simply spending some time alone in nature or with loved ones. Whatever works best for you. Taking care of ourselves should always be a priority for us to stay healthy in all facets of our lives. Learning how to say no is an essential skill that can help us better manage our lives and focus on the things that are most important for us. No can help us to achieve balance in our lives, improve our overall well-being, and create breathing room for those goals that are most important to us. When we don't know how to say no, or when we find ourselves constantly saying yes to everything, it can lead to overcommitment. That state of taking on too much or too many tasks or obligations all at once. You could do this.